Welcome to this episode of Trojan Poetry. This week, I've chosen the poem. John has not seen it before. He looks a little nervous, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we got cooked up for him here. This one is called The Sea Monkeys by Barbara J. Orton. At first, my mother balked. I already had 2 overfed gerbils, a tomcat I tried to dress, and baby clothes. Guppies that kissed my fingers and ate their young. What more dominion could a girl ask for? I pleaded, offered pocket money, and at last I had it. A box with a sheaf of directions and 3 packets, eggs, food, and salt broth. As soon as they hatched, I knew I'd been had. These were brine shrimp, the kind that came with my microscope kit. A 1/4 inch long, white, brainless, spineless. All they did was twitch. The next day I fed them to the guppies. For years I made do with dolls and tractable playmates. It's just as well. I don't like to think what would have happened if, at that age, I'd had my heart's desire, a colony of tiny human slaves.
Whoa. That takes a dark turn.
I was waiting to get there to see what you thought.
Unexpected turn. Jeez.
Yeah, well,
I got worried when she called it salt broth because I was like, oh, that's like soup. Like something's going to get eaten. And then sure enough, something got eaten.
Feeding it to the guppies. It's
oh, man.
Oh, heartless.
Yeah.
The next day, too. She didn't even pause. Yeah, so the title... as soon as I handed it to you when we were about to start, you said, "Oh, sea monkeys! Oh, great! Yeah. I remember those."
Yeah. I remember the pictures in the comic books of the little
with the
crowns.
Yes, that grew out of their head. It was like part of their skin.
It was awesome.
Yeah, right. Who doesn't want a sea monkey? Did you have a kit? You did. Yeah. Did you feel the same way?
Yeah.
It was kind of a ripoff
because they weren't pink and they didn't have the crown. And,
you couldn't really see them at all. A friend of mine had them, and they were just kind of like, it looks like dust almost.
Yeah.
Big disappointment. So. The first time I read it, I thought, oh, sea monkeys, interesting. Then I got to the end. Whoa, a colony of tiny human slaves, okay. And then I went back to the top. But when you look at it again in that first stanza, she tried to dress the cat.
Yeah.
Guppies eat their young. And then that word dominion. What more dominion could a girl ask for?
Yes.
And then she goes on.
All right there.
Yeah, she goes on in the end to say, for years I made do with dolls and tractable playmates.
I missed that. That's good. Yeah, good. Yeah.
So, John, what do you think is going on here?
I think it's pretty straightforward. She's recognizing that she was a beast when she was a child. Well,
wow, beast mode. Yeah.
Yeah, a tyrant's a terrible. That's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
Okay, well,
yeah.
So what child isn't a beast? I guess
Right.
is the question, right? Like,
yeah.
And so what would have happened? I mean, if she would have had a colony of tiny human slaves, what would she have made them do?
There's a Twilight Zone episode about that.
Oh, really?
Where some astronauts go to a planet and they're little people and they become the gods of the little people.
Oh, interesting.
I'll try to find the name of the episode.
Yeah, there's that reminds me. There's George R.R. Martin who writes Game of Thrones. He has a great sci-fi story. I can't think of the name of it. I'll look it up also. But this guy gets these tiny colonies of creatures, and he tries to make himself into a god, and he totally mistreats them, and then they end up revolting. And
that's kind of what happens on the Twilight Zone.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah. So I'm glad that she didn't get her heart's desire either, because according to those sources, it would have turned out not well. But I'm trying to figure out if this is a comic twist here in a way, or if it's dark, like you said.
It's a dark comedy. We'll split the difference.
All right, dark comedy. Fair enough.
All right, thanks for watching. Join us on Twitter at Trojan Poetry DGN or on our website at trojanpoetrydgn.blogspot.com.